Well, I've got enough people interested, not very many, but a few, interested in what I'm going to try to do with bed sheds to make a GUR, that I decided I'd do a video with my blackboard. Wayne, John, Joyce, they're putting their minds on this a little bit. So here's my idea. I'll run through this. What I'm working with is pallets that are 40 inches by 48. And I think I'm going to need 10 for each bed shed. And boards, oak or hardwood mostly, preferably. 1x6 boards, and they're 8 foot long. Not sure how many I'll need. Now, if I look at the end elevation, that is, it's called an elevation. There's no eave here, so cloth or whatever could wrap right around there. There's no eave at all. Let's see. If I have these pallets stacked like one and there, that would be 40 inches. And I think I would probably want a board in between them. That would be one, so like, I've got 80, and one there. 82 inches, that's sort of approximate. Would I have a sill? I think so. It would take more boards, and I'd have to use lap joints in the corners. I wouldn't really have to have them. I could just have these standing on concrete blocks, but I think sills would be better in this case. Now the beds themselves would be 40 inches wide, which I guess maybe it would better be called a single bunk bed rather than double. If I use 2 pallets, then it would be 80 inches, which is pretty wide. And the other thing is I could hinge something up here in order to make it wide enough if it were really for 2. And here's a bed, and here's a bed, and those beds will be on pallets, and it'll take 2 of them. Now looking down, there's one pallet, 48 inches, there's the other, 40 inches wide, 48 inches long, there's the other one. And so now I'm in a plan looking down at it. So this would be 8 foot. Well, with the boards, give or take an inch here and there until I work stuff out, and 40 inches wide. Let me go back to this. Now on the elevation, here goes the rafter up there. 8 foot is the length, and I'm limiting myself to. And so this much could overhang, and I would have to have a brace. I'd have to have some braces anyway, and I would put a brace here to support that end. Now this is, well, and I think I would also put a brace here to keep it from tipping this way. Racking the other way is not so much of a danger, and I could see to that. Now whether this brace would go halfway here and then down on a 45, halfway here and then all the way down there, I'm not sure. Now midway on the bed, this is one end and the other end would look exactly the same. Halfway through, there wouldn't be support for that rafter. Well, there would be, but I would have to do that support by putting a 1x6 as a beam through there. And I'd also hear, that's the end grain of a 1x6 going, and there would be a 1x6 here. So the rafter would rest like that. 4 inches for the thickness of the pallet, 2 inches off the ground, 2 inches off the other one, 26 inches more or less head space. All right, now looking down, this is a plan. I already talked about this, but the 8 foot would go past that. This is 40 inches. Well, that would give me a good bit more to run on out for that rafter. One there, one there, one there. And the one in the middle, I would run further. I'd start it there, and I could go 8 foot from there. And that would be, see, these would have to stop because they would be stopped by coming up against the next bed shed. The next bed shed. They could only go so far because they'd meet. But the one in the middle could go on. it continues on toward the center. So I'd end up with 8 rafters heading toward the center before I'd turn over to metalwork. All right, let's see. Inboard elevation. Inboard looking out. Well, here's the elevation. Here's a bed. Here's a bed. There's a beam to connect the walls, but also for that rafter to bear on. And I would put braces here to keep it from rocking this way. But that wouldn't be too much of a problem once they were together. Anything else to show you? I don't know if you can understand what I'm doing or not, but it's what I'm thinking now. And I'll be anxious to get some feedback. Bye for now.